Welcome to What the Fit, a podcast about what it means to be fit, whatever the fuck that means. Morgan Owens, welcome.
Hi.
I'm so excited to have you. This has been years in the making.
Yes, I'm excited to be here.
I became aware of you like probably very early when I started the podcast because didn't you have a fitness brand?
Curvy Cardio.
What was this, like 2018, 2019?
Girl. Earlier than that it started. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then maybe I probably became aware of you when I was like up in the fitness community.
Yeah.
And I wanted you on then. And then we met at the Kroger Wellness Festival. We got really linked there.
Yeah.
Wanted to have you on then. Timing didn't work out, but I think, like we said, everything happens for a reason.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is the time we were
I'm
meant
here
to
now.
be. Yes. So you are a media entrepreneur. How do you define your entrepreneurship? What do you say?
I say a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to be confined into just
Sure.
one thing. But I always say I'm a boss babe first.
Period.
Okay.
Period.
So I'm a writer, I'm an editor, I'm a founder, I'm a media correspondent. I do all the things. So, but even niching down, it's kind of like travel and beauty blog, founded Cincinnati Herald, the Herald Beauty inside the Cincinnati Herald newspaper.
Yeah.
And then I do TV segments on travel and beauty content. And I'm an author.
Yeah.
So I have 2 books now.
Yes, which we're going to get into. When I think of you, I really think travel and beauty.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I get from when I enjoy seeing where you're like jet setting to, or like
my
what
marketing is done right.
Oh, yes, like what city you're in, what are you doing? I love seeing you by a pool.
Yes.
I love that content.
I love the pool. I'm a Pisces. I'm a true Pisces.
I'm a Pisces.
Okay.
When's your
February,
birthday?
February
Okay.
21st. Yeah.
Okay, I'm March 7th.
Okay.
No, it is true though. The Pisces girlies love the
our
water.
pool. Yes.
We
That's
wanna
where I
dream.
find peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same way, but I've always really enjoyed your content. I've always just really, really been impressed by like the way that you are able to just like bring people and sponsors and communities together. Like you're just like aggregation of all that. Like it that to me is just like very, very impressive. You seem to have just like this relentless drive to like bring people together and honestly like get what you want.
And do.
Yeah.
But I wasn't always like that though.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So I saw you posted today that you've been a full-time entrepreneur for 8 years. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's incredible. But it wasn't always like that, right?
No.
So tell us your story. You're from Cincinnati.
From Cincinnati.
Okay.
Born and raised. So to know about me, I always like to start with my parents first because my dad was from here, the West End, so one of the poorest neighborhoods, right? My mom was from Richmond, Indiana. Again, she grew up small hometown girl, meager beginnings, and my parents gave me and my older brothers the life they didn't have. So sending us to private schools, sending us to, best everything that they thought was best for us.
Right.
Never had to worry about a meal or clothes. But I always say that came with other obstacles. Sure. So, going to schools where really no one looks like you. Yep. And you have an internal struggle about, especially when you're young, right? Like, why don't people like me, or why don't the boys like me? Right. Having awareness about your body at a young age, being called fat in 7th grade by your crush.
No, I'm with you.
I would
girl.
love to be that fat again, right? Well, I'm like, I wasn't even fat. Right? I'm like, I had, thick thighs, but I'm like, people pay for these thighs now.
Exactly.
Okay. People want that aesthetic.
Exactly. But when you're young,
it's hard. And then you don't want to tell your parents who sacrificed everything for you that you hate your life. Right. So I really struggled with my self-esteem. Yep. And I really didn't have a community that I thought I could be like, even though I had a great role model in my parents, I never saw someone who looked like me coming into my school, speaking, talking about about what they do for a living. And so I really didn't see that for myself.
Yeah.
I only thought, okay, I'm going to school, go to college, get a great job, get married, and that was it. And not to say that's not bad, but I didn't see other opportunities for me.
That was kind of the party line that we were given growing up. I was like, yeah, okay, yes, of course, we know we got to go to college and we'll do that to get a job, some job. I don't even know like what jobs do or anything like that, but presumably I'll find a job and then I'll get married and then I'll have kids and that will be my life.
But I didn't see women who looked like me that were entrepreneurs. Yeah. That were boss bitches. Can I cuss on that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm not used to, that are boss bitches, right? That are just breaking glass ceilings and looking their authentic selves, right? And so later in life, I just wanted to be that person for those girls that they needed to see, right? And so it took me a while to find my sparkle. And that's what my first book I talk about. You know, I struggled with, wanting not to be here at 16, right? Telling a boy over AOL chat. Remember those days when the real catfishes, right? I would make up personalities and catfish
ASL,
people.
age, sex, location.
Child, I was a Bengals cheerleader. I was this, I was that. I was everything in the world.
I love that.
Right? And then it got to the point where I just told this boy that like I wanted to take a handful of pills and just, in my life, and not knowingly, he knew what school I went to and he knew a teacher from my school. And so he called the teacher and then the teacher called the guidance counselor.
Good on him too at that time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and I remember I was in my room and my parents were just like, Morgan. I'm like, what? And they came in and had a talk with me and, went through my medicine cabinet. I'm like, I wasn't going to actually do it, but the thought of it, that I had those thoughts, there was something wrong there. Yeah. And I was a masker. Like I was a cheerleader. Yeah. I was on the dance team. Yeah. I wasn't, a sad and depressed girl.
Like emo kid hiding in her room. Right?
I got voted best sense of humor. And so, but no one knew that side of me internally that I was struggling with. Yep. Right. Yep. And so it took a while to work through that. It wasn't until I was 27 that I really decided to love myself no matter what.
What made you come to that conclusion at 27?
I just had a breaking point. I was dating someone and it didn't go right. And actually my mom encouraged me to go see a therapist. And for her to say that, especially the stigma in the Black community at that time, like if you go to therapy, you're crazy. There's something wrong with you. And when she said that, it felt like a weight off my shoulders. Like, she's like, Morgan, I talked to someone in college. Like it's no big deal. And I was like, what?
Right. It could help you.
Yeah. Even those words just normalizing to people like, oh, I go to a therapist. Like, it's okay. Yep. It's just having someone who's unbiased to you, won't judge you, but will also give you the tools to work on yourself. Yeah. So at some point it's like, okay, Morgan, like all men can't be shit. All your friends can't be disappointing you. You're stuck in a job that you're overqualified for. Why are you so scared to apply for something else? Why do you feel like you need to wear makeup to impress this and this and this person?
The big questions.
And the common denominator was me. I was like, well, shit, I'm the problem. Right. And sometimes we are the problem, not in a bad way.
No, we just get in our own way.
Exactly.
I think of therapy in my time with the therapist as like, it's someone that like helps me navigate the twisty, turny, little dark tunnels of my mind. Absolutely. I have a companion to walk with me as I do it. Because obviously the work will fall on you, right? It's up to you to take accountability and you take a look like, am I the problem? Whatever it is. But it's comforting and it's so helpful to know that you have someone walking alongside you in that. Who, like you said, is unbiased. They're not a part of your life. They're not going to judge you. Like they're there to help.
Yeah, to make you do the work on yourself, the inner self. So it's like, okay, if you don't like your weight, if you don't like this, then what are we gonna do about it, right? And at that time I was at Cincinnati State. They were doing like a health challenge with Weight Watchers, so I joined Weight Watchers and it really taught me how to eat right, how to eat better, right? And then I started getting rid of people who really weren't serving me in my life, those superficial friends, superficial relationships. I stopped dating for a little while just to be with myself. And that's really, I really found like how to love myself and just be okay with it. And honestly, that was when I started my first business too.
What was your first business?
Curvy Cardio.
Okay, Curvy Cardio, yes.
So, before I got my big girl corporate job, I graduated in 2008 from Miami, and
I also went to Miami.
Okay,
Yeah.
Look at us.
Yeah.
And the world was just shit. Like, a recession
That
happened.
was the worst time in the world to graduate.
Yeah.
I graduated in 2010, so I wasn't far behind, but the worst time to graduate.
So I actually worked 4 jobs for 2 years in a row, like straight. So,
Damn.
yeah. And so I had all this time on my hands when I came to Cincinnati State, and I got interested doing Zumba and became an instructor.
I love Zumba.
Yeah. And then coming from a marketing background, I just rebranded and did my own thing.
Yep.
So Curvy Cardio was born.
So you were like working multiple jobs and like kind of got this, would you say that was like your like side hustle to start?
Oh yeah, Zumba was a side hustle because, you know, when I was working my 4 jobs, I didn't have time to do anything.
No, right.
Just to work.
Yeah.
I didn't even work out. I gained weight, you know, and I was, you know, just getting deeper in that rabbit hole of like, well, what's wrong with me?
Yes.
And then when I found like a corporate job, 9 to 5, I was like, well, I got so much time on my hands, free time. So I was like, oh, I could work out and get paid. Bet.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
nice.
bet.
It's nice. So how did you end up leaving the corporate gig? When did you do that? How did you end up doing that?
So Curvy Cardio was founded, and then I was still at Cincinnati State, and then I told you I got the courage to go for things that, you know, I was underqualified for that job. But I learned a lot there. And then I took my talents over to Try Health as a digital editor.
Yep.
Everything was moving into the digital space. And then I went into a social media role, and then diversity and inclusion consultant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I was there for about 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
And I was just at a crossroads because at Try Health, I started my second business, which is my brand, Morgan Owens brand, who turns 10 next year, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. That's when I started doing workshops and the Personal Pretty Conference for women to come as their authentic selves. Because, you know, working in corporate sometimes is so bland.
It is so bland.
You go to bland luncheons where you're hungry afterwards because they serve some dried chicken and the cake
salad.
been out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I want to do a workshop where women intentionally want to be there to help each other of all like different, you know, races and places they are in, you know, their position in the companies and not just a superficial, here's my business card, let's follow up. Like, no. Like, we're going to connect at the event. Yeah. So it was called Babes in Business. Cool. And the first one was at the regional chamber. And so, yeah, I was doing 2 businesses and a corporate job. Yep. Which I loved. I loved being a diversity inclusion consultant. But I just came to the point where it's like, okay, either I'm going to climb the corporate ladder or see where my businesses can take me. Right. And at that time, I think I was like 33, 34. I don't know the math. I am a math girl. But I was like, you know what? Well, I'm single, no kids. Let me see how far I can go on me, you know? And
this is coming after your kind of like almost like rediscovery of yourself, right? Yeah. Kind of like coming back to yourself, right? Yeah. Cool.
And I left corporate and I've never looked back.
You never looked back?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. So now when you think of like the core of your business, like where are you spending the most of your time?
I would say the events still, because, you know, like I said before, I didn't have that community for me. Yeah. And so I think community is really important, especially now than ever.
I agree. And representation.
Exactly.
I am seeing this and feeling this a lot, which I don't know why it's coming up for me now because this isn't a new thing, but maybe it's summer, right? And so on my Instagram, I'm getting lots of ads for bathing suits, lots of ads for bikinis. And they all have pretty much a very similar body type, which is not mine, right? Yes. And I was just like literally thinking one day, I'm like, wow, it'd be really great to see someone that looked like me in a bikini ad. So I could, like, that's a stupid, simple example. Yeah. But for something that means nothing, like buying a bathing suit, I'm feeling it's important. Think about when it's like what roles we occupy and like what spaces we want to be in. Like you said, if you don't ever see anyone coming in that looks like you, you can't even, it's hard to envision
Absolutely.
for yourself that it must not be possible.
No. And like we were saying earlier, like you said, you love seeing me by the pool. Everything that I do and post is very intentional.
Yeah.
Right. Like years ago, I would never have been that confident to post in a swimsuit, bikini, but I'm like, wear that shit.
For sure.
Wear that shit.
If
I can do it, like just do it.
Exactly.
Right? Because some of them bikinis, look, I couldn't fit a thumb in there. I don't know how they fit in their cats in there. Because I'm like, my coochie would fall out of that
like,
bottle.
none of my business, fine. Like it's not for me. It's not
like,
my business.
who can fit? It's like this little.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, my coochie bigger than that now. I got a real woman coochie. I'm sorry.
No, I know. I hear you. And I think about it too, like in terms of like media, like just like, people that are having podcasts or have big platforms. I'm talking like really big. Do you watch Love Island?
No.
Okay, that's fine. I'll forgive that. But
I know I'm behind. Like
no, you've got too much going on. You literally don't have time for it. But they have just like a hosting show where they talk about Love Island, right?
Yeah.
And I see like the people that they're bringing on, and I'm like, oh, everyone looks like very much has one certain type of body.
Yeah.
Has one certain type of body. Like everyone is like very, very thin. I'm like,
Yeah.
so does that mean for me, it's just like not going to be possible for me to
Right.
ever have that job?
Yeah.
If I wanted it, not that I
Yeah.
would say I'd be a Love Island commentator, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, I don't know. It's important. So like the spaces that you're creating, the communities that you're building.
Honestly, create your own shit.
Yes.
At this point, that's my motto. Create your own shit at this point.
We really have the ability to do that. The internet makes that possible.
Yeah.
That we can just say like, hey, here I am. Anyone that wants to come along, come along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are waiting for someone to do it because a lot of people aren't ready or they're scared to start their own. So
yeah.
For me, I've always been, okay, I'll do it.
That's good on you. That's really good on you. That's what is contributing to your success.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Like, especially in 2026, a lot of my events, people are scared to buy anything, which I understand.
Yeah.
A lot of people are out of touch on what's going on with the real life here.
Yep.
And so sometimes when we talked about, wellness is the first thing to go. For my wellness event that I did for my second book, I made it very important for me to get sponsored tickets for people.
Yeah.
And for people to actually stay the whole day. It was a 5-hour event, and some people after lunch like, oh my God, Morgan, I gotta go.
I gotta
I
work.
gotta get my daughter. I said, no, call your mom back and tell her you have to stay here. I wasn't even, I'm like, no. She's like, well, I'm like, no, call her up.
This is important.
Yeah, this is important. You need to, it's life or death, basically. I'm not even being dramatic.
Yep.
So many women say, well, I'll rest next week. And then sometimes next week doesn't come.
That's our whole lives. Oh, after this week, I'll be able to take a break. After this week, I'll be able to take a break from now until forever.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm saying this from a place of someone who used to say those things.
No, yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same. It was always like, oh, once I get through this week, once I get through these next 4 things, I still do it now.
Yeah.
I still, like this week right now, I'm in this week of, this is like my rest week.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling it.
Yeah. It's hard.
I've already got shit piling up.
It's hard, but sometimes we have to tell ourselves like, no.
Yeah.
And I'm also saying this from a place of like grief and seeing like, me losing my dad unexpectedly, and he wasn't ready to go, and he had planned so much and he wasn't able to do it. And for me, I've always been like YOLO, but even after that experience with my dad, I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, no, if I want to wake up tomorrow, I'm like, I want to go to Paris.
Yeah.
I might not have a Paris in my bank account, but I'm gonna find a way. Yeah. We gonna make a way.
Yes.
As women, we make a way. I'll sell a bag.
Always.
I'll do something.
Right.
I'm gonna go to Paris.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna eat a baguette and then bring my ass home, and that'll be it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your second book, Forever Changed. It's coming out in September.
Yes.
September.
Yes.
And it's your grief journey, right, after losing your father unexpectedly. So tell us about your dad.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, his name was, it's so weird saying was. Like
I know.
The past.
I know, because like that is his name.
I hate it.
It is his name. I struggle with that with my brother too.
Yeah.
And I think I say his name is Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I use.
Okay.
Yeah.
His name is Dr. Odell Owens.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's from the West End. He's so embodied into this city. I mean, he's got a street named after him. He's got a mural. He's got a school. He's got the Corners building. Like, he's everywhere here.
Yeah.
Which is a good and a bad thing for me sometimes.
I can understand that.
Right.
What did he do?
He was a renowned doctor. So he was an endocrinologist. So he created the first test tube baby here in Cincinnati, the first successful conception of a test tube baby. So he's helped a lot of women get pregnant.
He's given a lot of life.
Yes, a lot of life. And he's just had a transformative like career. You know, he, like I said, he was a doctor. Then he retired from his practice. Then he was Cincinnati State president. So I was there the same time as him. So it was great to have that experience with him. He was the Hamilton County coroner. So my minor is actually in criminology. I was able to do my internship at the coroner's office in college.
Interesting.
So I stayed in the ballistics lab though. I didn't go to the I didn't want to go to the morgue. Morgan didn't do that. But all the crime scene evidence, I was on level 2. I'm like, they're like, you want to go to ride? I'm like, no, I don't want to go on a ride along. I'm cool.
I'm gonna sit at the desk.
I'm here. And then he was president of Interact for Health, where he retired after like COVID. So, but he's done so many amazing things.
It sounds like it, yeah.
And this is where I get my give back mentality from. He knows always remember where you come from and always trying to lift as you climb. Yeah. So that was always my thing. And so my dad was just 2 years retired, and we had plans together to start our own podcast. It was going to be Dr. O and Mo. You know, his perspective, my perspective. And a lot of people don't understand how funny my father was. Like, he was serious, but he was also into pop culture. He loved Beyonce.
He had a commentary.
Yeah, he could talk to you about anything.
Yeah. I'm
like, how do you know these things? But he was just so intelligent. And, you know, we lost him the day before Thanksgiving that year. And
it was unexpected?
It was unexpected. Yeah, he had a heart attack. So he had just bought my mom like their dream house, even though like they lived in dream houses before.
Yeah.
He wanted to surprise us. A week later, it would have been his birthday. So it's just like all these things. We were supposed to co-host the Daddy-Daughter Dance for the Herald that year. Previously,
of course, you have plans. You have your life. You don't think it's going to be cut short. You don't think about that.
Yeah. In previous years, like we were supposed to do it, but like I was traveling. Like I'm staying. I can't do it this year. So like all the things that we wanted to do, we just never got to do. Yeah. He never got to enjoy his retirement. He's been working since he was like 7 years old. Food truck out of Findlay Market with my grandfather. So it's like
I just got chills thinking about that, honestly, about just how much emphasis we put on work and how much time and energy, and not that it's not important, especially when people are doing purposeful work like that. But at the end of the day, it's still work.
Yeah. But he loved what he did. He loved serving the community. He was always there for somebody. He was always advocating for those who often didn't have a voice. So, you know, he was very fulfilled in that. But as far as like wanting to go fishing or wanting to do other things, you
leisure,
know,
right?
Leisure things.
Take a break.
You know, my dad, you finally deserve, you could do it. Like, you could do it. And he just never did. And so whenever someone says, well, I'll do it later, I always say, well, later sometimes isn't promised.
It is not.
It's not.
It's not a guarantee.
Because this came out of really nowhere. And so for me, you know, people get to grieve privately within like 30 minutes. It was all over the news. I had to give a statement to the press. I couldn't even properly just grieve my dad.
No.
And, you know,
right.
And I understand, like, you know, the city loves him and beyond, but just as a daughter who's 36 years old, it was just very traumatic. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
You have to step outside of your grief then for a performance. And tell me, you know, if this resonates with you, the more performing that we're doing, the more disconnected we are.
Oh, absolutely.
To like our true selves and just like the emotion of grief and how it can really just like take over for a while.
It just numbs you.
Yeah.
Really.
Yes.
You know, I couldn't
in those
eat.
early days.
Oh yeah. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. So my friends, like, they would bring me edibles. And then what turned into, oh, I'm going to take an edible, just go to sleep, turned into, oh, it's 1 p.m. I'm going to take an edible. Yeah. And that just ensued and for like a year and a half. Yep. You know, even the events I did, like, I can't remember. I can't tell you anything. I was just so checked out. Like,
And your brain too, like after a traumatic event like that and losing someone so unexpectedly, like literally one day they're here, one day they're not. I had the feeling when I lost my brother of like my life was like going down a train track, all 4C head, mountains, sky, whatever. And then it was off the track.
Yeah.
And the new track is not yet built yet.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know what it
it's
is.
like, what am I supposed to do?
What am I supposed to do?
How am I supposed to live? Like, how am I supposed to, especially if someone is just so, I was a daddy's girl through and through. Like, he was my number one fan.
Right.
And it's just like, what do I do now? You know? And my mom, like my parents, their 50th wedding anniversary was June 12th. So they would have spent over 50 years together.
Wow.
So it's like my mom lived with my grandparents and then my father. So how do you even imagine losing someone, the love of your life?
Your companion,
like
your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like me and my dog packed up my condo. I'm like, we going to go live with my mom. Like, I don't want to be alone. I don't want her to be alone.
Right.
So it's just like, and then you both grieve differently.
Of course.
Right.
And that can cause tension and friction sometimes.
Oh yeah. I walked in a room once and like, I just got inundated with my dad's scent. And I just dropped to the ground crying. And my mom was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I said, I smell dad. Like, she's like, oh yeah, I've been spraying. I'm like, you know, like she loves all those reminders. I'm like, Mom, really? You know?
I had a similar situation. It was honestly like, it was like the day after my brother died. And we're all at my grandma's house in Northeast Ohio. My brother was in Florida, was living in Florida when he passed away. So, the whole family's over there. And the numbness is really what comes up, and there'll be waves of like intense sadness and then waves of just like nothingness. And my grandma is out here bringing out every single picture that she has of Joe, and I'm like, I can't.
Right, I don't want to see that.
Look at that right now.
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, it is.
But that's. My mom had a big poster of my dad's headshot, like a award. And like, she's like, should I put it in the bed? I said, no, Mom, we're not doing that now. That's a little cuckoo bird, you know? But like I said, we grieve differently.
Different. Yeah.
So for me, even after the memorial service, like I left town.
Yeah.
So my thing is to flee.
That was also mine. That was my first instinct was I want to get out of town. What I wanted more than anything, and I, wasn't able to do this because of my job and I was married at the time and, whatever. I wanted to take a one-way flight to Las Vegas. Yeah. And I wanted to just see what would, then I'd go to Spain. Yeah. Maybe then I'd meet someone and I'd go to meet a group, whatever. I just wanted to get out. I had that strong feeling. Yeah. And that you had that similar.
Yeah. I fled, and then someone ran to me at the airport in another city. I said, well, shit, I can't stay in America. So I went to Canada. Like I pitched a campaign to stay in Canada for like 6 weeks for a hotel brand that I was working with. And I'm like, 6 weeks isn't that long. So the next year I did 2 months. I'm like, this ain't long enough either. And then
you just wanted to get away.
Yeah. Then last year I spent like 3 months away, and that really helped, honestly.
Really?
3 months. I did London. I did Canada, just to be Morgan. Yeah. Where people didn't come up to me and, ask me every day, how are you? How's your mom?
Didn't you start to hate that question?
I'm like, please stop. I hated flowers. I don't want to see no flower, but just living abroad just helped me just get back to me and then like stop with the edibles, think clearly. Yeah. And then I remember calling my mom. It was like January after New Year's. I was in London. I'm like, I want to come home. I want to go back to therapy. Yeah. I want to forgive God. Because I was mad at him for a long time. Yeah. And she's like, okay. So I came home and went back to therapy.
Was there like a specific event, or was it just naturally the time was like,
it was just naturally. I was just like, all right, Morgan, like, it's just time.
Yeah. You, I'm assuming, right, were working.
Oh yeah. I was working. I mean, the first year though, after my dad passed away, I'm like, I was kind of deep in like my influencer mode. So I was doing like beauty, fashion, lifestyle content. Yeah. I had to tell brands like, I can't do this. I can't post a holiday campaign. I just lost my dad. Like, and so I took a break. Yeah. Like, ran up that credit card though, child. Yeah. And I was literally traveling every week somewhere. I became a medallion on every damn airline. Yeah. Okay? Like every airline. I called my second mom and his assistant. I'm like, what's my dad's login for his Delta? Because he had hella miles. So I used his miles.
Let's go. Yeah.
I was like, I'm out. And And I just spent that first year just gone every week, you know.
Were you, during that first year when you were gone, were you kind of like actively being present with your grief or, you know, processing it anyway? And I ask because I had probably, I would honestly say like 3 or 4 years where like I didn't touch it. I didn't want to go anywhere near that grief because it was going to be way too painful and way too scary.
Yeah. I was just doing all kinds of shit, girl. Yeah. I tried going to therapy at first, and I remember I walked in and she's like, oh, what are we here for today? I was like, I just lost my dad. It was like a week later because I'm like, I just don't know how to manage this. I don't know what to do. And she's like, what are we here for? I'm like, I just lost my dad. And I said his name, and then she started crying. Of course, she knew him, and she had a story, which is, I love it.
I know, but I hear.
And she was like, she's like, I'm so sorry, and I love her. She's like, I'm so sorry, I wasn't prepared. I said, well, shit, me either, girl. Like, I wasn't prepared either. I wasn't prepared either. But it just goes to show like the testament and how he touched everyone in Cincinnati. Yeah. So after that, we were fine. Like it was a laughable moment. I'm like, okay, like this is a sign from my dad. I'm like, all right, Dad, you in here, because he would do jokes like that to me all the time. I'm like, all right, Dad, make it about you. Right. It's about me now. Right. So I went a few times, but then I'm just like, yeah, I'm not ready for this. And then I ran away. Yeah. And then I ran away. I love that. I left my therapist on red, and she would check on me. She's like, I'm just checking. I'm like, yeah, I'm not in town. Like, you know, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I didn't touch it. Yep. And like I said, I was just in a funk. I was just going through the motions. Yeah. Girl, I tried to date. Yeah. I was on all the apps. I matched with the man who was a doctor. I said, oh, is this my dad sending me my husband? Like, my mind was not stable. I know. Honestly, it was not stable. I had to go back and apologize to some people. Like, I was not in the right mind space. Yeah. I had to go back and apologize to some people who sponsored some of my events during that time because I dropped the ball doing stuff. I'm just like, it's no excuse, but like, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. Yeah. No, and I'm sorry if I ruined this relationship. Yeah. But it's all me. I know. I really hear that. That like really resonates with me. I think too, just like the more time that passes for me where I'm like farther away from those like first couple of years, because like when I was in those first couple of years, like I'm not like consciously aware that I'm avoiding it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's not even something that I'm thinking about. Yeah. But then looking back, I'm like, girl, it was a hot shit mess. Hot shit mess. Yes. And we are probably similar in that if anyone were to look at my life at that time, it wouldn't look like I was a hot shit mess. No. Absolutely it would look like I had everything together. Yeah. Because I did. Because I was pouring my energy into work and podcasting and, you know, whatever else I could get my hands on. Yeah. Anything besides the grief. And so, yeah, it's not like there was ever a time where I was like, oh, my life's falling apart. No. But my life was falling apart in there. If you came to one of my events during those first 2 years, Morgan was high. I was high. Yeah. Like, yeah, straight up. And I would leave events early. Like, I'm like, I can't stay here anymore. You know, I would just leave. I'm like, tell my event planner, like, can I leave? They're like, yeah, sure. Like, it's your party. Like, it's your, Like, I didn't have anything else to do. So I would just dip. And finally, I was just like, all right, Morgan, like, this is enough. Like, you can't be high all the time. You can't do this. You can't run away from it. You just got to face it. And so, you know, that was really the premise of the book. And writing, my degree is in creative writing. So it's always been therapeutic to me. Yeah. And my dad always loved my writing too. Yeah. And so I felt like this was both like for me, my therapy writing, but also a love letter to my father about kind of how I am forever changed. Yeah. I know it may sound weird to people, but if you've never gone through grief of someone so close to you, you are a new version of yourself. You are. And you have to learn that new version. Yeah. Because it could be the little things too. Like I never had to worry about car stuff. Right. I'm 36 years old. I don't know anything about no cars. Right. Like my daddy had like, you know, just like the little things. Like, I don't know. I know it sounds ignorant, but like I didn't have to worry about that. Yeah. You know, and it's just the stuff that you have to like relearn or even learn, period, as a person. And think of my mom. She never had to worry about, you know, I remember she's like, I don't know who's going to cut my grass or the boiler. I said, oh, girl, I got people for that, you know, like still that's welcome to be the modern age woman, girl, you know, like, you know, I can call someone to do that for you, mom. But it's like, you know, learning new stuff, you know, so, I am forever changed. I'm learning a new version of me. And, you know, when I got through, I say that fog of being high, you know, I really turned to wellness.
Yeah.
So putting that into something positive. So that's when I became a Pilates princess and started really loving Pilates, matcha, and going to bed at 8 p.m.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. And instead of, I am a shopaholic now, but instead of investing in like bags and designer things, not completely gone, but like I wasn't working, so I couldn't do like my monthly things that I would do. Yep. I started turning that money into like self-care. So what does that mean? So like lymphatic massages, you know, for my wellness, right?
Where do you go here in Cincinnati?
Viva Body Sculpt.
Okay.
They're amazing.
Okay.
They have a summer silhouette now. Back, where it's like a sweat, like sauna, and like, oh, she'll get you together, girl. She'll get you snatched.
Where is it?
It's Bond Hill, Reading Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll talk
it's on the
offline
blog
about that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. I invested in, so anything that I wanted to do. So like I did a campaign in Seoul, Korea, and they did like 10 different lasers. So skincare, I invested in like my skincare.
That's where you got to go.
Yes. Getting into
to
peptides, GLP-1s. I'm going to be young forever.
Yes.
You know, I turned 40 this year. So I'm like, I ain't going to look it. So I invested all that back into my wellness. And like, again, cutting down people. Like nobody calls my phone, and I'm okay with that. Like only the people who need to reach me.
Yep.
And people understanding if I can't go to dinner, if I can't go to birthday parties because I need to protect my mental care. Like I called it my selfish season.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not scared to say no, and you can't be mad that I'm saying no. You know, some people are like, oh, what do you mean you can't come to the party? Like, oh, you can't come to dinner.
Like, because I said so.
Yeah.
Because I said so.
Yeah. And they're like, okay, I understand. And not get mad about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think when you're like honest and like forthcoming of like, hey, I'm focusing on myself right now.
Or,
and in this moment, I can't make this happen.
Yeah. Or some days, as you know, grief.
Yeah.
I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't literally do it. I told you I had an episode today. I went to go drop my dog off at his hair appointment at Wolf Spa. I'm like, oh, let me go check out the new Cineroll place.
Yes.
And I don't know what triggered me, but I got in my car and I just started crying.
Yeah.
And then I called my dad's voicemail and heard his voice and left a message.
Do you do that?
I do.
Do you talk to your dad?
I do.
Yeah.
I left him a voice note, you know, and I don't know what triggered it.
Yeah.
And I was like, cancel the whole day. I'm like, no, I can't, you know? So, but some days are like that where I wake up, I'm like, I just can't.
Do you ever, I've been feeling this way lately. Do you ever long for or miss like the version of yourself before loss?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I was like, I think that I'm like, you know, of course at that time I had stresses and I had worries and I had things going on and, you know, whatever. But I think now looking back and I'm like, you're so innocent and naive and I could approach life with this
a different lens. Yeah.
Energy and this fervor that feels like it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because I want that again.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, is it gone forever? Is this just like, you know, a transitionary time? Does it come back in new ways? I don't know yet, but I've just been really kind of in this place of like, oh, I long for that version of me that like wasn't so afraid of getting hurt.
Yeah. And I hope it comes back in other ways. Yeah. And I don't know if you can tell, but like sometimes I'll look at pictures of myself when I still had my dad and my eyes were just so bright. And then like years, like even like the year after I lost my dad or the second year trying to do like campaigns or take pictures, like I can see it in my eyes. Anytime I see a picture of myself, the memories, I'm like, oh, that's when I still had my dad. Yes. I don't even look at the year. I'm like, oh, I still have my dad then. Wow. And then I can tell like the years, like, you know, which is, it's weird, but like,
no, that,
you know,
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Just like recently talking to someone who was doing some like energy work through like reading like photos of people. And like, you can, you know, like by looking at a photo, she could tell like, oh, a woman like really carries a lot on her shoulders or there's a lot of pressure by the way so that would make sense, right? Yeah. Like there's just a different
and I hate
about
it.
you. I know. I can't help but just be like kind of mad.
Yeah.
Kind of mad that it was like taken from me. I think that everyone in their life like eventually comes up against loss or grief. It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily have to be death. It can be relationship, job, you know, any kind of transition in life. And that where we do like lose that natural, like, I think of it as like innocence almost.
Yeah.
And that is just a part of growing up, and maybe we have to just deal with it. But I don't know. I've just kind of been like, oh, wish I could go back.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's, I don't know. It's like, things go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Like I definitely would not want to see my dad see what's happening in the world, especially as he was like a feminist. Like, even though he helped women get pregnant, he always told me it's a woman's choice.
Yeah.
And I think he would have been heartbroken by some of the stuff, not even with like women's rights, but just racial rights, like equality, everything that he went through that his kids didn't have to go through. And now we're seeing an erasure of all that history. And I think that would have broke my dad's heart.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm glad he's not around to see that. But I'm like, I still question, like, well, hell, I definitely need him around now, like to fight different stuff for me, you know? So, but you know, it's just that, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I hear that. So the book's coming out in September, and you have a whole wellness tour planned around it, which is very cool. So you want to talk about the tour a little bit?
Yeah. So we kind of did like a pre-launch back in May, which was like a 5-hour event. Now the tour is not going to be 5 hours. Yeah. That was kind of a bigger event with different workshops for women. And so the kickoff in the fall will be a Pilates class, and then just a quick book chat about the book. And that's really it. Yeah. So Cincinnati, Detroit, New Orleans, Dallas. Cool. Hopefully other cities. Hopefully you get a sponsor on board. Sponsorships have been very tough for entrepreneurs lately. Yeah. Because I want the classes to be free for attendees, because I feel wellness should be accessible and affordable. And like we said, that's the first thing that goes sometimes. But I think women who need to be there deserve to be there. Yeah. And yeah, just to spend that 2 hours for themselves.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. You touched a little bit, but I'm interested to hear about your self-care rituals and routines, like stuff that like you must do to show up and do everything that you're doing. What are some of those things for you?
So rest is the biggest thing. And, you know, at 40, I feel like my 20-something-year-old self would be like, okay, grandma, but I don't care.
But like, you know, is real.
Yeah. Like I go to bed like at 9 p.m.
That sounds so
I love
lovely.
it. I love it. But I'm up early because I'm usually at Pilates at like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
I love starting work when like everyone is still like in the bed or not, you know,
up and at 'em,
I can just be quiet and just do what I need to do. Lymphatic massages. I try to do that at least twice a month. And then
that's so good.
Yes.
That's so good.
Yes. Because, you know, everything's hormonal now when you get older, but like that drainage that you need for your body and just to feel confident, like you're doing all this hard work at the gym,
it feels so
and
good.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then adding in like peptides. So I've tried NAD plus. I know, girl. But it does make you feel better.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got on a GLP-1 maybe almost 2 years ago now.
Okay.
And it just helped me. I was pre-diabetic for one. So it helped my levels like go low for that. But it also taught me just how to eat better, force myself to eat more protein. Yep. As an entrepreneur, like sometimes I don't eat. And so like on this, if you don't eat, like you'll get sick. I'm like, I ain't got time to get nauseous. I need to eat. So,
okay.
Yeah.
You really do. Okay.
So it'll make me and drink water more. Yeah. Because that's good. I mean, everyone should be drinking water. Yeah. But, you know, it really taught me just how to eat better. Yeah. Right. But it's also giving me more energy. Yep. And just keep everything tight and right.
I'm interested to hear just with, I know that there are, you know, there's a lot of people that are turning to GLP-1 for a variety of reasons, whatever. Yeah. I'm of the mindset like it's your body. Yeah. You should be able to do whatever you want to do with it. Sure. I stand by that. Yeah. But I've been hearing a lot of people talk about this like help with addiction, that there's like the way I think about it, and maybe, you know, everyone can be a little bit different, but like what I've heard is that the voice that you have in your head or whatever, that's maybe always thinking about food or always thinking about consumption of something in some way, that voice is turned down.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Is that what you experienced?
For sure. Yeah. And like I said, I've struggled with weight all my life, you know, even back to the 7th grade when I was fat. Yeah. I wasn't fat. Yeah. Well, Weight Watchers, I love that it taught me how to eat, but like you're constantly thinking about points.
Exactly.
Like it got to the point where I see food, I'm like, Brett, 4 points. You know, that didn't work for me. Right. So I'm not counting points. I'm not counting calories. I eat what I want, but I need to eat the better things for my body, such as protein, such as, you know, getting water in.
Veggies, all that stuff.
Veggies. Yeah. And I don't even crave maybe I'll crave like Skyline like twice a year now, right? I used to be like extra cheese, me extra sour cream, right? And now the voice is like, girl, I don't need that. It was like, yuck. I'm like, oh, not yuck. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it just teaches you better habits. And I did get off of it for a few months just to see how like I would, you know, do without it. And I could really tell the difference. So I just adjusted my levels, and I'm like, I just want a level just to maintain.
Right.
I lost a little too much weight, I think, because I lost my butt, lost my thighs. Like, we need that. So I leaned out, right, and then gained 10 pounds back, and then just started incorporating more protein, more muscle, and then got back on the GLP-1. Yeah. And I don't get sick as often anymore either. Okay. Even traveling, you know, like, I don't want a cold. I don't want, you know, so, because it has B12 in it as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think we'll be hearing a lot more people's stories and, you know, their experience, because it's everywhere. It's
and like I said, I'm a proponent too. Like, it's your body. Do what you want. Whatever makes you feel good. Look, shoot me up. Okay?
Yeah, that's where I always come back down to, because I know people be like, oh, this person didn't need it, or I'm like, it's literally their body.
Like, you don't know what I need actually.
It's none of my business.
Like, you don't need what I need.
Exactly.
Right? Like, I've been even with like injectables, like Botox, filler. My dad was the first one to normalize Botox for me, because I had horrible migraines in my corporate life.
Exactly.
And then I liked how it made my forehead look. So I'm like, oh, okay.
I just was with a woman the other day, though. She has her own kind of like med spa, like facialist thing or whatever. And she told me, and I didn't know this, I've been getting Botox since I was 29. Yeah. And she told me that it has like long-term skin, like positive effects, which I didn't even know that. I was like, sick. Great.
Sign me up.
Yeah. Sign me up. Whatever people want to do, just whatever people want to do, I think is the best part. Okay. So when can people find out more about the book, or like where's the best place for them to like get all that information?
So pre-orders are up. So my website, morganaowens.com.
Nice. So every episode I end with the question of, what does being fit mean to you? I like to think of this, right? Over the years of the podcast, it's evolved so much, and you know, we've had a bunch of different people on, so maybe not even necessarily to physical fitness, but what does being fit mean to you?
I think what fit means to me is being okay with where you are in general.
Like, as simple as that.
Yeah. You know, and I think that ties back to, you know, if you're able to love yourself from the inside out, I think that's fit. You know, it's that mental mindset. Because if you love yourself, you're going to make that effort to get your wellness together, get your mental health together. Right. You know, even the way you carry yourself, right? You know, I don't wear makeup every day because I pay a lot in skincare, microneedling, but no, but honestly, like, but I'm confident with or without it. But if you're fit, I think you're just okay wherever you're at.
Yeah. I love that. I really appreciate you coming on and
so
sharing your story. Yeah. I'm glad we finally got to do this.
Yes.
I'm really excited for your book tour and just everything that you've got going on. I'm really impressed by you. I really
Thank you so much.
Admire your ability to just like literally go after what you want.
We got to.
Yeah.
Because who else gonna do it?
No one.
Yeah.
No one's gonna come along.
No.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Morgan. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at Chrissy Gurley and at What the Fit Podcast. Full video episodes will be available on Spotify and YouTube, so follow and subscribe. If you're loving What the Fit, please help spread the word. Send it to a friend, share it to your story, and if you're looking for even more exclusive content, become a Patreon member. You can find it at patreon.com/whatthefitpodcast.